Question for Phil? I asked you about Chad Adams a couple weeks ago. Does he say much? We don't get to talk to him much. Is he quiet when he's in the group or anything?
You wouldn't know he's in a room if you stayed nights with him, days. He's just very nonverbal. Really a good kid and just a quiet kid. Keeps his thoughts to himself and has had a good year. Last week wasn't his best week, but he's had a good year.
Can you evaluate what you saw out of the pass rush? I know they got into the backfield a couple times, but they couldn't come with any sacks.
Yeah, we didn't. They max protect. If you noticed, a lot of their routes were 1- and 2-man routes. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I played a game that I was telling Mark. I mean, we had 4 of their explosive plays were for 5 yards. The ball was thrown 5 yards. Our underneath coverage, we had a guy that really struggled, and it led to 24 points. And the ball was thrown, twice behind the line, once 4 yards down the line, and so they were throwing the ball fairly quick. JoJo missed 3 sacks. He had 3 good rushes, and just missed them. And Rosen did a good job of staying alive and ended up getting a couple of them off. So.
Seems like when Gas has been out, things don't go well. I mean, how can you just pinpoint this because there's so much experience behind it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just experience. I mean, you got guys that, we talked about it. We're not in depth in some areas. And those things had nothing to do with DAS. I mean, it was our underneath coverage. I mean, when you're throwing the ball, behind the line until it's your underneath coverage. And we had like I said, it was disheartening because we haven't done that actually since the San Diego State game, and we struggle with it.
How has JoJo played for us?
He's played good. He's capable, and I tell him this. He's a better player than he thinks he is. He's got to get. There's always a difference between that elite guy and that good guy. He's got to work to get to the elite status. If he wants to reach his goals, he's played well. Great kid, but you got to make those plays. I mean, when people come in here next year and look at him, they're going to say, all right, this is what we see. And he's fast switch, he's intelligent, and he's a very good player.
Only coach DJ Cal in this one season, but what will you remember about him?
You know what? He is bought in. He played. Let me tell you something. He played lights out the other night. I mean, he really played well, and he's just a guy that Keith and I were talking about. I think he's matured leaps and bounds. He's got better in coverage. He's given us great leadership. If he gets injured, he'll never tell you. I asked him what's going on. I don't know if you remember, but on one of the reverses, he got cut, and it was an illegal cut. And I saw him, I guess it was yesterday or Tuesday, and he was in there taping himself. I said, why don't you go in the training room? He said, I want to go in the training room. I said, you have to go in the training room if something's wrong. But he's been just a godsend.
You come from a tempo team in Baylor. How does the tempo this offense run compared to that one?
Our offense, it doesn't.
Does it affect your defense any when they start to pick up the pace?
Sure it does. Sure it does. Let me tell you something. When I went there, I didn't really I had never been around it that much, and it is in the Big 12 right now. I mean, every week. I mean, it's like your hair's on fire. I mean, honest to God, it's I thought Colorado was fast. Colorado's fast, but it's not Big 12 fast. And I remember when Todd was at Tulsa, they were fast, and I watched them here be fast, but we're not as fast as those guys.
Next week, the conference coaches will vote on the all-conference awards. I know you guys have struggled at times, but is there anybody on this defense that you think deserves recognition for
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think DJ, without question. I think Tayshawn, JoJo could get in there. I think AJ Latu, from the players I've seen in this conference, would be a guy. Christian probably would be in the mix. And on defense, I also think a guy like has played well. He didn't play as well last week as Jamarcus Rhodes.
Coach, you faced three straight weeks you faced NFL caliber quarterbacks. What were some of the challenges you guys saw? What do you think you should
The thing that I think sets all of them apart is their ability to make the special throws. If you saw the throw on Kobe, on the play pass, pretty good coverage, and I mean it was an unbelievable throw, and I mean an effortless throw. And I remember, Darnold throwing the out the first 3rd and 12. I mean, on a rope, and but it's their ability to make the throws. I thought Rosen was a guy that, like I said, I thought if we could keep him in the middle range, he moved a little bit better than what I anticipated.
How do you mentally prepare your guys for a game like this against a team that has had struggles this season, obviously, and the elements and everything that goes along with it?
You show them the Stanford and the Colorado game. I mean, listen, we've all been on teams like they've been. They're fighting. I don't know their situation, but I'm telling you, all year they have been a team that has fought. You can tell their coaches are coaching hard, and I just, they're dangerous. They're beyond dangerous. You better prepare yourself, or you'll go up there and get your butt kicked.
And going to last week, you expected Rosen to do what he did. Last game was not the UCLA's rushing game. They came in a surprise the numbers they put up. What did you see in the game?
Well, I think the numbers were surprised, and most of them came from wide receivers. The two biggest plays were reverses. And so it skews, I thought that the one run for the touchdown in the second half after we went for it, that we missed a fit and missed a tackle. They had a stretch earlier, but the big plays were the jet reverse and the jet, fake reverse. You can't win, you're not going to, we survived the first one, because they missed a field goal, and it's one of our biggest goals. First thing, stop the run. They were, I think it was 2 for 8 the first half in 3rd down, and we knew that we had to keep that going. So it was like, I think Todd probably said it best. We got out ahead of them and then just didn't keep the traction going. And when you're away and you're in that environment. And everybody always told me, well, UCLA doesn't have that. And they had a good crowd. I mean, I'm sure all of you were there, but they were into the game. It was a very good game.
Last one, Doug. So, in your experience, every program sets out for a conference championship. That's the number one goal. When you don't reach that, and you have to kind of downshift and say, okay, now let's try to just get bowl eligible. Is that still powerful motivation within the room?
I think it is. Because everything you do, you're evolving. And obviously last week we were still hoping that we could stay in that chase. But this is big. I mean, this team's been, last year was not bowl eligible. And you have seniors like DJ and Tayshawn and Chad and all these guys that we really think deserve, but you got to earn it. And so, but the other thing is this for us, like I know defensively, we have been good, and when we didn't play as well, we've responded, and I expect us to respond in this game. And it's important. Obviously, we'd love to go to a bowl, but it's also important when you didn't play like you're capable of mentally. You want to go out and play, and like I said, we're not looking at them as a 1-8 or 1-9 team. We're looking at them a team that's a formidable opponent, and we better get ready to go.
Thanks, Joe. Go ahead.
Coach, you've been around the game obviously a really long time, but you can assess a good player when you see one. N'Keal Harry, when you see him, where do you think he's going to be?
He's phenomenal. He reminds me, and I don't mean that, but When I first went to Baylor, Gordon, the receiver that has had the struggles. I mean, and when I say this, I mean he was 6'3.5", and I'm telling you, if a ball was in the air, it was his. And I just think Nikhil was one of those guys that, and still can get so much better. His competitive nature is unbelievable.
Thanks, everyone. Jeff?
I just have one. There's some guys that look like they were nicked up in green and whatnot. Do you think they'll have all those guys?
I expect to. We're trying to be smart and not, if you notice, they were all practicing. It was just that we wanted, that green jersey means we're don't bang them, trying to get through, and we're just trying to be smart. And I think, yes, I think we will.
Maybe George too?
Who?
Maybe George Lee?
I think there's a chance. I do. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I think you got it.